Ba-dum-bum-bum. Gotta start with, what, Silent Chili and Cress, huh? Gotta take down those bozos first. Need to get them done. I might just use Steven and Wallace next. Ooh, it's me. Do I want to do Steven and Wallace next? I don't know. Looking very, very clear right now. Lovely. Love that for me. Do-do-do. Where we get her started. We should be in, yes. All right. Silent, Chili, and Cress. The Gauntlet of Fire, Water, Grass Core. Immediate thought, dragons. Dragons are really good against Fire, Water, Grass. Because they just resist everything. But there isn't a Azumarill, so. Okay, so we got our boy Ferrothorn, Lilith, Monkey, Azumarill, Slowking, Monkey, Arcanine, Darm, and a Monkey. What to take, what to take, what to take. Could also take Volcarona, right? Volcarona is way too high level for this shit, though. Like, these guys are only level 88. Volcarona's at level fucking 92. You should do just fine into the first thing. I'm taking this as the grass type, but I don't think I can. King should do pretty well against everything here. I like Chandelure as well against two of them pretty easily. Take Hydreigon. Dragon just does well against all of them. Chili mostly just has annoying physical attackers. Pivot for those. I'll have my own fire, water, and grass core. Yeah. Venusaur does well against two of the three. Very good matchup with two of the three. And then the final piece. I don't think it matters in particular, I'll be honest. Just take something that's just good. Another dragon. Intimidator? You should do. I should have just enough. Just enough, like I thought. Well, I'm not a SoundCloud rapper, Boy Meets Mini, you know this. Not yet. I don't want to be a SoundCloud rapper. That's true, Boy Meets Mini. That's true and real. That's true, and I mean that's pretty true, right? I mean that's true. All right, Silent Chili and Cress. You boys are up first. Let's take a look-see at the levels. Hey, boys. That's Cress. That's not Silent. But okay, well, it's fine. Look at this motherfucking guy playing Oblivion. What are you, El Crungo Bungo McFlungo? Okay, well, I need more candies. We are out. So let's just take care of that problem real quick. I didn't think that the Oblivion remaster would actually be out, like, right away. I thought it was going to be announced and there'd be, like, a release date and everything. No, it's just out. I'm just like, huh. Well, that is surprising. You know, a pleasant surprise, to say the least, you know? It's just like, okay, cool. I was really, really not expecting that. Now, it is on brand for you. You are El Crungo Bungo McFlungo. Nice. It was known for a while because leaks. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't have that information. I didn't look at any leaks, so... Okay, well... And a follow modding Discord I'm in has defeat some Nazis because they were bitching about the body types option. That shit's always fucking existed in like every Elder Scrolls game. Like, I don't know why. Like, again, like fucking anti-woke people are so fucking dumb, dude. Like, honestly. I really despise these anti-woke dipshits. I really, really hate them. Because it's just the same fucking dreck every single time. These things have always existed. Like, what even are the body type options? It was male. That's it? Okay. I don't know, man. Like, it's just the same tired old bullshit, you know. Insert fighting cowboy rant here about how this fucking stupid bullshit is just dumb and stupid. Shit like this has always existed. They just want to be more flexible with their fucking options now. It's like, okay, man. It's whatever, bro. So it's level 89 for everybody. I don't know if they've done like a curation system for Steam reviews yet or not. I don't know. If they did, that's good. Anyway, let's get started though. Get get this fight out of the way, mostly. Let's get the boys out of the way. Silent, Chili, and Cress. Alright, chat, say hi, YouTube. YouTube! Silent, Chili, and Cress. The dynamic trio or something. I don't know. The team. I don't know, it's fire, water, grass. Whatever. Like, what do you want? It's a 9v6. But, like, 3 separate fights. Nah. Let's just go in. Hey, guys. Silent, Cress, and Chili. That's me. Uh-huh. Something valuable. Silent? Silent's first. Or is he first? That's not Silent, that's Cress. I've been lied to. What the? Alright, well, this thing probably has Aqua Jet. So I'm leading with Nidoking. That's fine. No biggie. I can't believe that Silent would just lie to me like this. And it's actually, well, Crescent's first. That's okay. No, I could have just gone for the Sludge Wave and RKO'd this thing. Oh well. That's not too big of a deal, I'll be honest. So he probably wants to go for Ice Punch. Just gonna take it out. Slowking probably comes in next. Psychic. We're making the easiest calls of life. And all that's left is a Funky Monkey. How fast is Simipour, actually? Simipour. How fast is this thing? What's this thing's speed stat? 101. That's actually pretty fast. I bet you're poorly trained. Yeah, you are. Oof. Could go into either one of these. It's probably gonna click Ice Beam here. We're just gonna take it out with Chandelure. He went for Hydro Pump. Okay. Damn. I just got Mind Red. Or more than likely what happens is when you get to this particular stage of the game, the AI will just know what you're clicking. Okay, bro. Alright, well, we're just gonna kind of stay in, just, I don't know, we're gonna take this thing out probably. I don't know, we're gonna get tickled by some Hydro Pumps or something, whatever. Bro did not go for the Ice Beam, he just went raw fucking pump. That's crazy. Parasite's probably gonna take you out now. Bye-bye. That's not Silent, that's Cress. Alright, who is it this time? That's Chili, that's not Cress. So that's the wrong guy! It's not the right guy. Oh, it's just a bunch of back-to-back-to-back fights. Okay, well. Time for you to probably be put in pack by Nidoking, which I think probably outspeeds everything. Just clicks Earth Power 3 times. Stuns you. Okay, goodbye. You are dead. And that's what you get for lying and having a keylogger. Death. Yeah, Nidoking with the moveset that I have on it is pretty much going to clean up, I think, the other two by itself. Oh, that's a monkey. Fire monkey. Dead. It's dead. Goodbye, monkey. Goodbye, funky monkey. No, instead of killing 2 monkeys, it killed 4 monkeys with the crit. That's Chili, it's not Cress! But you're not gonna be Chili, you're gonna be Silent! I'm being lied to! That's not Chili! So the only reason why I have Flamethrower is just for the Ferrothorn. That's literally it. Otherwise I have, like, no special fire types, so... Alright, well, get roasted and toasted, idiot. Alright, goodbye. Lily! Death. Splooge wave. Get waved, idiot. And another monkey. Goodbye. Alright, well I guess that's these 3 guys down and out. Alright. Goodbye, Silent, Chili, and Cress. You're not Chili, you're Silent! I'm being lied to. Not like this. I have. Sure, I did scorch everyone. Oh. I think I now know why Kyogre was not appearing in the Abyssal Ruins. That's why. We didn't have the orbs. And you have the Jade Orb. Yeah. Well, that's not an actual orb that's canon. It's just here for the purposes of the game, but tomato, tomato. Whatever. Yeah, I wonder what they're for. Let's not even talk about it. Thanks, boys. You have a good one. Well, anywho, that's it for that fight, I guess. I guess we're gonna go catch a whale, a snake, and a dinosaur. Cool. Anywho, YouTube. You know what to do as always. Remember to catch these live, twitch.tv/JohnRumba. You know how it is. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good YouTube algo shit. You know how it is. Anywho, peace out, YouTube. Shall we go catch some legendary Pokemon, I guess, for funsies? Because I can. Shut up, puto. What do you want? Huh? What's your goofy ass want this time, you fucking papega? What do you want? Huh? Explica. Don't you fucking pog-o gay tea time? What are you, gay? Ford, is this your coming out? Are you coming out right now, dude? Look at Puto coming out in this Twitch chat. That's amazing. Are you assuming? Yes, I am assuming, because fuck you. I am making an assumption. And you're gonna cope about it. Yeah, I'm not an LGBTQ ally. I am a foe. I never talk about trans rights. I always talk about trans wrongs. Truly, I am a acolyte of Asmongold. I talk about LGBTQ wrongs because I am a foe of the community. I am not an ally. I am a foe. I've had enough of you damn queers doing all your queer shit, clearly. So I'm gonna, you know, make 75 fucking, Brie Larson videos, talking about, like, Brie Larson said this. Now, what did she mean by this? And I'm gonna make, like, 10-minute monetizable fucking videos out of, Brie Larson, or whatever fucking 3IQ shit those fucking dumbasses used to do. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, Brie Larson's not popular anymore. It's Rachel Ziegler now. True. Your room doesn't look like subhuman gold? That's true. That is true. I actually do keep pretty clean. I did a pretty deep spring cleaning with my mom just last week. That's true. Alright. We're ringing the bell. Hey, big man. Yeah, dink donk, dink donk. I rang the bell, asshole. Come here. Alright. We have a fucking big noodle. We caught a noodle. We're gonna see. We're gonna head back to Indella Town. We're gonna investigate also the house. We're gonna go pay Cynthia a visit. We're gonna go pay her a visit. We're gonna pay her a visit. I think we're gonna get her next. It's time to say hello to, insert meme here about, like, hello, mother. Time to start, like, Oedipus posting or whatever the fuck. Hello, mother. Yeah, that's kind of poggo of you, Boy Meets Mini. As you know, the Fordnet is a huge fan of Cynthia. Ford, we know. It's okay, buddy. You can admit. Let's see if it's just... I just need to have the fucking blue orb or not. I don't have a Pokemon with Flash and Strength on me. That is fine. We'll just teach those real quick. Strength. Just teach this to someone who can fucking just learn it right now. Chandelure, I assume, can learn Flash. Shut the fuck up, puto. You are actually Papagus. Don't you give me any of your fucking papega shit, puto. Putis. Don't you fucking pogo me, you little shit. You little shitter. Yeah, well, you're papega.
Cope and seethe, Jack.
Fucking et tu? Don't you give me any lip? Putis.
Wrap it up, dummy.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Alright, are you in here? Hi, asshole. Yeah, I needed the fucking orbs. Hey, big man. Man, I spent so much time fucking trying to get you for no reason. The documentation didn't say I needed the fucking orbs. Hey, big guy. Hey, big man. Come here. Alright. Nope, it didn't tell me about the colored balls. Well, I knew you needed the Jade Orb to get the, for Rayquaza. I did not know about Kyogre, but I mean, I should have figured out for Kyogre and the other one. Alright, spit me out. Alright, cool. We got Puto 1 and Puto 2 now for Puto 3. And it's in the sand somewhere. Alright, here's Puto 2. When in reality, it's actually secretly the Fortnite who's both of those putos. Because Ford is a puto. Puto. So let's just quickly reteach everyone their moves. Since we are currently at this juncture. Goodbye, Flash. Sludge Bomb. And give you back Ice Beam. Alright, lovely. Groudon. I don't know where Groudon is, honestly. Pokemon? Legendary locations, Groudon. Desert Resort in the Swallowing Sands. So Desert Resort is over here? It's by Castilia City, I'm pretty sure. So we want to go to Castilia or Nimbasa. We'll find that asshole. An item I never got. There's Dig. There we go. Desert Resort. Alright, big guy, where are you at? You're around here somewhere. Where are you, big man? I will find you. Is he in a corner somewhere? Hey, there you are. Hey, big guy. He was in a corner somewhere. What's up, big man? Hard to find him without the sun. Alright. Yoink. Alright, that's the big three. One of the big three. We found our big man. Here's another one we can probably unlock quick. Deoxys. Sent to the museum. Old man to talk to. Hey man, what's up? Just probably normal Deoxys. That's just a rumor. Alright, that unlocks Deoxys. Now we should head to Giant Chasm. Can you suck my dick? Fuck you. Death. 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 We still don't have the necessary tools to get Kirim, by the way. I guess since we're in the area, I guess we can go for Kirim next. Alright, Deoxys is around here somewhere. Where? Don't know. Typical Boy Meets Mini, one in a glaze. Tautomus, Howardus. Well, there's Articuno. Figured we would have unlocked it after talking with the Sage. I figured Articuno would be here. Still better than Game Freak. Are you sure about that? Like, are you really sure about that one, Boy Meets Mini? Where's our space virus? You're around here somewhere, I know it. I'll find you, you little bastard. I will. Okay, can you, like, literally, like, stop trying to suck my balls? Oh my god, I keep hitting every shaking spot. Go away. There you are. Hey, big guy. That's a Deoxys. And that's a Deoxys. Well, with the other two being made available, here's two others we can probably get real quick. Heatran and, because I did pick up the Magma Stone. We'll come back to the Strange House eventually. There's Moltres. On a ledge inside of Reversal Mountain. And we'll also go grab Heatran because we have the Magma Stone. Chicken. Alright, that's a chicken. Let's go get another chicken after we get Heatran. Which is over here. Hey, big guy. Hey, you're gonna woo-boo woo-boo woo-boo. I know you're gonna woo-boo woo-boo woo-boo. But you're mine. That's Heatran done. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Nice. Now fly out. Lovely. Let's head to Charredstone Cave. Head to Mistitron. Alright.
That's cringe, Jack, and your setup is weak.
Shut your goofy ass up, puto. You are literally fucking puto Papagus Maximus. Well, I didn't find Zapdos, but I found Raikou. I figured there would be something here. We found Raikou. And these shitters we must have unlocked because we saw Suicune earlier. So, well, here's Raikou. We did, when we were headed to Strighton, we saw Morty running by, and he saw Suicune, which unlocked those 3. So, we have those 3 now. Morty, I'm Usain. I need you to run around like a dumbass for Suicune for me. But we found the 2 other chickens, which means the other chicken is in here somewhere. Alright, where could the other chicken be? It's not in the place that I obviously thought it would be in. That means the chicken in here is somewhere else. I think I have an idea where. I just have to head closer back to the beginning. Figured it would be around here. And now we found another chicken. Alright, so we have now acquired all the chickens. Alright, another chicken. Done. We're done with the chickens. I might as well grab the fucking dumbass cats. Route 23 behind a house? Oh, I think I might know which house. Alright, let's get out of here. I'm gonna go buy some escape ropes real quick. Here's one we could probably get real quick. Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh, I believe, is in the Outlook over here. Wrong Outlook. Found on Asperdia Outlook. Oh, should be here. I have the Rainbow Wing. I might be missing something, huh? We have to find Jasmine and talk with Jasmine. Jasmine's here as well. Okay, well, we'll go find you, Jasmine. We'll talk with you real quick, and we can go catch some more chickens. She is in the cafe warehouse. Oh, which means she's in here, then. I think. There she is. Hello, Jasmine. Oh, you're good, bro. I will take the bells. Interesting they give you the wings, but you actually need the bells. Goodbye, Jasmine. Alright, let's go catch some other chickens. Route 17 amongst the rapids? I don't want to go back to fucking there. Hello, chicken. Oh, this is a turkey. It's not a chicken, but whatever. Chicken, turkey, same difference. Gimme. And then Route 17 for Lugia, which is just going to be an annoying fucking puzzle. Nice. Whatever. Let's go catch the other dipshits. I don't know about the Eon twins. Yeah, we just caught the turkey. Latios and Latias. Well, Latios and Latias is an anvil town, so we don't have the. We're not quite there yet, so not quite yet for them. We have Jirachi. We got Jirachi by going to the Dream Yard. Jirachi was very, very easy to grab. And then we'd have to talk with some twins in Anvil Town, which we should have access to. But let's go catch... well, we already found Raikou. Let's go find Suicune and Entei. So, Entei is around here somewhere. So we're going to fly to Victory Road. And then we're going to go find N. I think N is going to be the next person we're going to take on. Alright, Entei is around here somewhere by a house. Found a topple ledge behind a house. Should be over here. There's like only 2 houses in this fucking area. Are you over here? It's not by the first house, it should be by the second house. So probably over here. Hello. Hey, big guy. Oink. Suicune. Route 13, eh? On top of another fucking cliff. Always with these cliffs. Route 13 is here. So off to Undella Town. Top another cliff, eh? This shouldn't be too hard. He's probably over here. Alright, take a guess, Suicune. Hello? My intuition is very good. That's another trio complete. Yoink. That's Suicune. Very good. I'm not gonna go get Lugia yet. I want to wait until we have... what? And I spoke to Erica already, right? Okay. Tree Forest. I have to warp to a particular place using the C gear. I don't know if I'll be able to grab Celebi. Celebi seems very annoying and stupid to get. Found in the back of the Entralink. Actually, why don't we just head to Anvil now? It's like one of the only other towns I've not been to yet. So let's head to Nimbasa. We'll go to the subway. Let's go get the Let's go get the 2 soul dews for the Lottie twins. Even though I already have a soul dew, but whatever. Wi-Fi trains, multi-trains. Super double trains. Train to Anvil Town. Hello. Hey, man. Yes, please. Off we go. Anvil Town. Crying man, huh? Daughter needs to be woken up. That sounds like a job for Cresselia. Hello. You two are... Now they're both available. The Eon twins. I'll take a rare candy. I'll come back to you later. Alright, well, we're done here. We're done with Anvil Town. We're gonna come back here because we probably need Cresselia. Yes, I would like to get on board. We're heading back to Nimbasa. Alright, let's go back to completing some of our sets. Alright. Let's go get Latios and Lugia. Fucking, that's a dog, dude. I hit the... Alright, well. Go away. Thank you. Okay, time to figure out how to get to this motherfucker. I did not get that item. There you are. Okay, well, we figured it out. We gotta go this way. Loop back around first and try to find Latios. Latios is around here somewhere. And by somewhere, it's right here. Lovely. That's Latios. I haven't fully explored this area. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, we're at P2 now. We do not want to be at P2. We don't care about P2. That's a rapid right there. It'll loop me back around, I think. Yeah, we do not want to be here at P2. P2 is actually fucking worthless to us. Pearl string. with the rapid. This bitch is now blocking my way. Fuck you, bitch. I have to reset the area. So we'll just go inside the Genesect lab, reset the area. We're gonna head into P2, we're resetting the area. Well, the Genesect cases are gone. Looks like Chorus made more. Of course, she's a fucking rotator. Okay, nice. Value here. Besides this fucking dude. Alright, put you in a pack real quick. Sit down, window. Sit down. Oh, you're dead now. How am I getting to Lugia? So that put me all the way back at the beginning. Okay. You know, think about how we're doing this puzzle. And there we go. We just got to Lugia. Hello, Flappy Bird. Lovely. That's Lugia. Let's also go grab ourselves the Pokemon Transfer Laboratory, which should be over here. So we go to Black City. Hello, Latios. Just chilling on a bridge. We are out of here. I think it might be time for her. I just want to see what exactly we're working with here. Hello, Cynthia. '96. Exact same as Steven. Think it might be time for Cynthia. Documentation does not have the fight in here. I assume it's probably just going to be the same Pokemon. I don't see a reason why they would change it. Alright, Cynthia. Spiritomb, Milotic, Lucario, Togekiss, Glaceon, Garchomp. I'm trying to think, who would be better for us to face before we take on Cynthia? It's probably just N, right? Round 2 of the Elite Four, it looks like, as well. The gym leaders. Maybe we shouldn't take on Cynthia quite yet. Steve and Wallace are going to be the same level as her. 96, respectively. Round 2 of the Elite Four. Do I want to do round 2 of the Elite Four? I don't know. They're going to be in the hundreds. Never mind. No, they're fine. We can take on Cynthia before them. Yeah, they're all hundreds. There's also blue. Morimoto and Nishino are 96, respectively, same as Cynthia. Nature Preserve, they're maxed out, so Herbert and Hilda are both maxed. We just took on Silent Chili and Cress, who was the lowest. Benga, I don't know if I want to fucking deal with getting to Benga. I don't care enough, honestly. Blue is level 89. He's pretty low, actually. I guess we're going to take on Blue next in Wellspring Cave. Okay, we'll do Blue then. We'll do Blue. He's not hard to get to. He's pretty easy. Yeah, we'll take down Blue then. Blue will be next. Then we'll do the gym leaders. This should be Wellspring, yeah. Okay, yeah. We are pretty close. Alright, Blue. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. He has a Pidgeot in the lead with no guard. Yes, we have a lot of legendary Pokemon now that we're going to keep in the box. Because I have no need for them at all, really. I'm not going to use them for really much of anything, to be honest. I could leave with Rotom Wash. Flame Body, eh? Regen, eh? Multiscale, eh? Bro, he's got a Mickleberry. No static on you, but I assume your other ability is static. And that means you've got Flash Fire or Flame Body, do you? Flash Fire is perfectly fine on you, though. Could make use of Heatran. I mean, Heatran's always good. It's fine. Alright. Blue. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. Definitely taking Rotom Wash. Rotom is really good. And one thing I'm seeing immediately, Rotom Wash is quite good against him. He's got an Eggy. I'm gonna take Sozandora. Because, that boy is always good against, Eggy. It's free eats, really. Man, who else? I mean, these two alone will really rip him to shreds already. Probably need something for the Machamp, something that's way better at taking it on. Probably Ghost type, right? It's got no guard. Fighting Gem. I can only see 3 of its moves. It could have a dark move, I'm not sure. Bring. Probably want a ghost to dodge dynamic punch. Let's do Miss Magius. And other stuff. I don't know. I mean, just the first 2 I have alone are going to be really, really good against him. Don't really almost bring anything. The world is kind of my oyster, I think, in this particular respect. A lot of options available. Probably want a water type or something for the Rhyperior. Could use a water, could use a grass. I'll just take Starmie. Starmie's just good. Run Wash is also good against it, so you can burn it. Run Wash actually is not going to be good against Gyarados, because Gyarados is Power Whip. Whip. He's got Power Whip. But we'll play around that. That's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Just get a really fast electric, maybe? Pick off the, for the Gyarados. Priority in the back just in case, maybe. Sure. We'll go with this against blue. And we have Surf to get to blue, because we need Surf to get to him. Alright, we're good. Let's go. Take on blue, catch Mewtwo, and then do some yapping. I didn't face like any of the trainers in this area because I did not want to fucking deal with any of them. I just had no desire to take on any of them. Alright, there's the big man himself. Let's see what level he's at. It says all 85. I'm assuming +4. Hey, Blue. Just want to see what level you're at, buddy. 90s. Okay, +5. Okie dokie. He's in the 90s. That's fine. I think the next thing we're probably going to do tomorrow then is we're going to head to End's Castle then. Yeah, we'll head to End's Castle after. Get that side quest complete. You know, Starmie's a little over leveled, but that's whatever. Cheers. Magius is not holding an item. What item am I going to give to Miss Magius? I could give it a choice item. I could give it a lot of things. What do I want to give it? If you're not choice band. Scarf? I can give it a scarf. I have Nasty Plot on it though. Just give it a Life Orb. And I'll just go with Life Orb for now. Maybe go Spell Tag. Or plate. Never go wrong with a plate. That reminds me, how many of these plates do I have? We have the Pixie plate already, so that's not missing. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're missing 1. We're missing 1 plate. Because we have the pixie plate. The pixie plate you find strewn about somewhere. So we're missing 1 plate. What? Grass, fire, water. Okay, we have those. I'm missing the one for dark types. Because there is no plate for normal types. Unless you count the legend plate, but that doesn't count. We are missing just 1 plate. Oh, anywho, I should stop getting fucking distracted. Where are my life orbs? Okay, lovely. Fucking staring at him. It's very silly. Should also check on the Marvelous Bridge again, see if Cresselia is there. Because if we can get Cresselia, we get Darkrai. And then we can also complete that Anivil side quest. It's probably why Cresselia didn't show up. We didn't talk with that guy in Anvil Town. So Cresselia should now be able to appear. We take Cresselia with us to Anvil Town. I'm gonna check that after this fight, I think. Alright. Should be more than fine. That should be quite alright, honestly. Alright, let's get her started. Alright, chat. It's our YouTube. YouTube! Blue. And whatever the hell he's guarding. More than likely Mewtwo. Blue, 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 dabba dee, dabba die. You know, he's got a pretty, you know, varied team of Kanto extraordinaires. That's what we're bringing. Executor could be annoying with its sleep powder shenanigans, but it can't really do anything to Hydreigon. Hydreigon's always been a very good, solid counter to Executor. But otherwise, like, there's the Gyarados with Power Whip, so Brodom is not going to be a standard hard counter to it. Because it's got Power Whip. But, you know, should be able to handle that thing. The only thing that's slightly overleveled here is a Starmie, but that's because I took it to the Colress fight because I needed a Surf Pokemon. Otherwise, it was not useful at all for the Colress fight. But whatever. Hey, Blue. Hey, buddy. Maybe I should have led off with Manectric instead. I should have led off with Manectric instead. That's fine. Alright. I think I also forgot to reteach Manectric Volt Switch. That's fine. That is fine. Oh. I will gladly knock down the Gyarados Twitch Sash. Thank you for the free eats. That was a god-awful switch. I didn't think I was going to stay in there. Ha! I'm just going into this so I can click U-turn. I want to bait stuff in. By Gyarados. Free eats. I think we just stick him in the spin cycle for now. This will probably bring out the Eggy. Rhyperior. Okay, I'm also fine with Rhyperior because I can just get a Will-O-Wisp off here. Interesting that he never brought in the Eggy. I don't know why he didn't bring in Eggy here. That's very strange to me. Oh. Okay, well. Didn't PB max to do my Hydro Pumps. Yeah, I mean, I already do quite well against this thing, but now I, you know, the burn I effectively wall this thing. Goodbye, Red Furier. Free eats for Mr. Washington. There's the Eggy. I definitely outspeed this thing. I'm gonna pull the switch off. Just go straight into Hydreigon. But yeah, like I said, I don't think I actually said this. The combination of just Rotom and a Hydreigon, he does not have a good time against both Rotom and a Hydreigon. It is quite difficult for him to deal with these two Pokemon. So he decides to put up the Room of Tricks. Fine with that. It's annoying, but like, I'm just gonna put something to sleep. But he can't really hit Hydreigon at all, so it's not that big of a deal. It really doesn't do that much to me. Moist Trick Room turns, it's also okay. Full 3 turns. Goodbye. You are dead. Comes Machamp more than likely. More Room of Tricks. Arc. Wants to click Extreme Speed. Or he wants to click Close Combat. One of the two. I could bring in Mr. Washington here. To a Hydro Pump, he's definitely going to take this thing out. Could even go Pain Split if I wanted to, but... Yeah, that posture is not going to matter, buddy. You are at -2. Goodbye. All that's left should just be the Machamp. No guard, that can't miss. Probably gonna go for Stone Edge again. But yeah, Hydreigon and Rotom are kind of ripping this man to shreds. Really does not have an effective answer to them. This is the only thing that, you know, both of them in tandem can't really take on all that well, is this thing. Take a bunch of damage. Rough Skin. And the burn. He didn't go for Stone Edge, he went for Dynamic Punch. Again, so it's fine. He does have knockoff. documentation doesn't say what final move he has. I was anticipating. It's like, I think it's probably knockoff. Doesn't really matter. He's dead. Goodbye, Blue. He did have knockoff. So that was the call I made. I was like, I think he has knockoff. I take Miss Magus as my ghost for Dynamic Punch. That's correct. My prediction. Oh, this thing's still alive. I completely forgot about your existence, I'll be honest. Yeah, because all it did was U-turn out, turn 1. Didn't do shit. I know Guard Hurricane's pretty good, guys. Just don't confuse me. Looks like a crit? No, it just did that much damage. Strong. It's over. Now, for real this time, goodbye, Blue. It's over. Thanks, man. Sure, man. You have a good one there, Blue. You have fun with the PWT. Well, anywho, YouTube! Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good YouTube algo shit. Catch these live as always. Twitch.tv/Donarumba. You know where it is. Anyway. Peace out, YouTube. Nice. Let's just go into the Wellspring Cave before yapping. What wondrous things do we have in this cave? Besides trainers. Besides the fact that I am low HP. Fucking sock my cock. Go away. Bloomington? You're dead. Death. Death. Go away. Max revive. Just get around all the idiots. I don't want to face them. I don't care about him. Dusk Zone. Hey, big man. Hey, big guy. What's up? How you doing? Alright, that's the big man acquired. Big man acquired. We're out of here. Maybe not, actually. Here we still have some area to explore. I forgot to switch out of Washington. Oh no, I have been blocked. I have been blocked on twitter.com/Camwatch. Oh dear. Piece of chat. Death. Special attackers against a fucking Snorlax. Lovely. It's okay, we have Garchomp. Get rough-skinned, idiot. I'm about to get rough-skinned, idiot. missed. Lovely. I love missing my hydro pump. Can I explore the rest of this area in peace now? Go away. Thank you. No, I can't explore the rest of this area in peace. There's so more fucking shitters. Link cable. There's that guy. We're gonna ignore that gal. I think we're done with this area. We are now officially done with Wellspring Cave. Alright, we're getting the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Where are my escape ropes? I don't want to be here anymore. Going this way is fine, actually. Stryton City. And we're back where we all started. Back in Stryton. Still have to get to fucking Fairway, huh? Time to save for now. Oh my goodness. Is it time to talk about stupid shit on the internet now? Methinks it is. Methinks it is. Do I want to look at this article as well? Got a lot of varied stuff actually to talk about here. It's always fun. Boop boop boom. Do do do. Boop. Boopity boop. Markamus Carney. I'll watch a lot of David Dole videos. I mean, David Dole makes really good videos, so I do like watching me some David Dole. Yo, Canadian solidarity and whatnot. Well, anywho, we love our Canadian brother in arms against dumb fuck fascists. Doing some more Canada coverage, or well, honestly, talk about people who are doing more Canada coverage than I am. Well, we got like Pierre Poilievre has unveiled his newly released platform. Oh boy, we can only assume how probably dog shit it is. David Dole. What do you got to say, buddy?
A new conservative government with a responsible plan to save $125 billion.
These numbers are a joke.
Sure, man.
We aren't in a joke. We are in the worst crisis of our lives.
It is now just 6 days to the Canadian election, and the Conservative Party has finally released its costed platform. And the reaction to it is...
Like, really? Yeah, it is. It's 6 days left, and their platform is out now. So that means this whole time... Because Pierre Poilievre has been running, like, a dog shit campaign. The Conservative campaign is really bad. So much so that other, like, Conservative pundits are just, like, saying, like, dude, this is some fucking ass, bro. Like, this is really bad campaigning. And, like, they're just making fun of him, basically. It's really funny. Basically, like, really all Pierre has been running off of is just, like, guys, we're gonna remove DEI and wokeness and just having Trump's rhetoric on the campaign trail. Like, he's been bragging about his fucking crowd sizes, talking about wanting to remove woke ideology. You know, it's the same, like... It's the same dumbass shit, to be honest. He's got, like, nothing, because he knows, like, people, broadly speaking, don't really like him, which is why the Conservatives are doing as bad as it is. I was having a talk with a buddy of mine. He's a liberal. He's very liberal. Buddy of mine was saying, like, dude, like, pretty much the biggest reason is because they changed the leadership with the Liberal Party to Mark Carney, because, like, people are sick of the bullshit. I'm like, I don't disagree with that. I do think that's a factor to play, but I also think a big part of it is, like, Pierre Poilievre gives off dog shit vibes, and no one likes his vibes. Nobody likes him. He tries to be personable, but everyone can, broadly speaking, sniff out that it's completely fake politician bullshit. He tries to, like, to do the fucking whole blue-collar worker shit, that whole shtick, because, like, he wants to appeal to those people because he thinks that they're right-wing, and that's what Trump did. But keep in mind, Pierre Poilievre is a guy who has only worked within politics in the House of Commons for the past 20 years. He's through and through, like, an Ottawa swamp creature. You know, take a little bit of rhetoric from, like, you know, Republicans on that one. He is through and through a politician first. He has never been a working man. He's never been, like, this sort of, like, very popular figure. He's full of shit, and broadly speaking, a lot of people have, like, been able to sniff that out. But what do we got here? What's his policy platform?
Interesting. So in this video, I'm going to get to something that I caught in the platform that is just incredibly dishonest, but we'll get there shortly. I'll also get to Mark Carney's reaction to it, which is rather blunt, and details about just big picture what is in this platform. So let me first start with just details about the election, because so far a record 7.3 million Canadians have already voted. That's an increase from the 5.8 million who voted in 2021, who voted early.
That's really bad news for the Conservatives. Like, typically the people who tend to vote early and with, like, mail-in ballots and stuff like that tend to be liberals. So the fact that is an increase about 1.5 million, the likelihood that a lot of those voters are going to be liberal voters, pretty high. This is already pretty bad for, well, Pierre and the Conservatives. Of course, they also tend to skew older. A lot of people who tend to go in advanced because they have the time to do that, right? And a lot of young people tend to vote on the same day. I'm probably going to go vote on the same day as well because I've got really nothing better to do. So, and I've got time for myself. I can just go in and vote. Where do I even vote? Where do I vote? Excuse me. I guess the advanced voting days, I can't do that anymore. Those days are past. Oh well, that's fine. A church? That's where I voted last time as well. I just went to a church, just did a big walk to a church. I can do the same thing. Probably not that far from here. Anywho, you know, ruminating about like the voting aside, I think my district. I have to look into who my riding voted for last time. I think I'm in one of the few green districts, so my choices for who to vote for are rather flexible. To be honest, I can just vote for whoever, right? And that's fine. No, honestly, I should probably still. Do I vote for the Liberals? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I think I'm in a green district, anyways. Let's see. What do we got here? A lot of people who increased in terms of voting. You know, ruminating about like the voting aside. Increase of 1.5 million voters. Yeah, that's not good for conservatives. Because generally speaking, a lot of people who vote early tend to be more left-leaning. Or at least that's with mail-in ballots. I'm not sure about early voting. A lot of older people tend to vote early, right? Because they have time. But, you know.
In 2021. So I don't know what this says about results. I'm not sure it says anything, but it's good to see that people are going out to vote and voting early. I like to see that. Let's get to this platform. So I will link to this below the video.
The platform.
It is called Change for an Affordable Life for Safer Streets.
Bro's trying to be Obama. Hope and change. What are you? Mobambo?
For Canada First. I like how, like, nobody was crying about crime until you brought it up and made it a thing. Again.
Yeah, again, I also, like, looked at this, like, during the debate, like, the crime statistics in Canada, they've, like, gone up a little bit from, like, where they were before. They have gone up. There's been a slight increase, but that's somewhere from, like, 2.4 million incidents to, like, 2.7 million incidents or some shit across the entirety of the country. I have to find which graph I looked at exactly. Was it here? It was the statistics here. Yeah, like, obviously went down during the pandemic because everyone was stuck inside, although not by that much, and it's gone up, like, a little bit. There's no 2024 results here, but I assume this trend has probably not really changed all that much, right? But, what, total all violations? 2.5 million up from, like, 2.4 million? Because we're not going to really count the pandemic era, because it's, like, gone up, like, a little bit. Maybe by, like, a percentage point. That's it. So, like, is it, like, oh, man, sweet, there's a huge crime wave that's, like, going on. In comparison to what it was in the 90s? Not really. Let's be honest.
Historically, crime is down from where it was. But okay, whatever. Safe streets being one of the main subheadings here is a little bizarre. That said, the platform pledges $75 billion in tax cuts, referendums before future tax hikes. So I'll get to a little more detail.
Referendums before future tax hikes. So what does that mean exactly? Like, tax hikes on what? Like, in general? Like, even, like, there's going to be referendums, so can people vote on, you know, tax hikes on, like, corporations or something? Like, most people are going to broadly agree with that. I have a feeling that it's going to be, like, referendums only in the House of Commons. But the strategy like this is only going to work if the Conservatives are in the majority, which I don't see it, man. Like, their campaign has been just run so poorly. Like, they tried to do, like, a recent, like, ad that you could, like, literally pull out from the 70s or some shit. Because, like, they're trying to not have Pierre in the fucking spotlight. They're trying to pull him away more and more from the fucking spotlight because, broadly speaking, the Conservatives understand, like, yeah, this guy kind of fucking sucks. And he's costing us the election. So it's just, like, they try to, like, be in touch with, like, average blue-collar sort of, like, Canadian workers. But the two dudes they have predominantly talking in this ad are, like, golfers, like, dad golfers. Like, it's a little weird, guys. Like, if you want to get into tune with, like, your average blue-collar, like, working Canadian man, I don't think the first person you should think up of is, old white dude fucking, out in the drive just golfing. They're trying to, like, talk about, like, kitchen table issues. Talk about, like, man, I have to, like, pay for, like, my kid's thing. Well, then why don't you have, like, the kids there talking about, like, oh, man, like, Mark Carney's, like, agenda is really rising up the costs. Why have, like, are they afraid of losing the fucking golf ads or some shit? Is that why? It's weird. The messaging is off. It's strange. But, you know, that's just like one random example of just like how poorly the conservatives are like running their campaign, like the generational fumble that they've been having. But yeah, let's keep going.
In discussion around that in a minute here. I first want to bring up the first thing that I searched in this platform, and that is unions, because Pierre Poilievre has been so adamant about claiming he is for the working class.
True.
I am standing up for the working class against the greed of corporations and all his...
Dude, this is also the same dude who's been talking about like electricians being able to like harness lightning to power up buildings. It's so fucking stupid, man.
His entire career, 20 years of his career,
dumb,
has been doing the opposite, but we'll get there.
That's
he writes
true.
in this platform, or I should say the party writes in this platform, respecting union rights. No return to anti-union bills like Bill C-377 or C-525, and no right to work laws. Interesting. Let's go back in history, shall we? So no more bills like C-377. Oh, damn that bill.
A quick Google.
That conservative bill.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. A conservative pushed for Bill C-377. An act to amend the Income Tax Act. Requirements for labor organizations. So basically, from what I understand, and David Dole gets into this, is it makes it harder for unions to be able to put in like the taxes, the tax sheets they need for their union dues, making it harder to form unions. Guys, wait, I thought we were trying to be pro-union here. The Pierre? What's going on here?
Pierre Poilievre voted for, while the other parties...
Pierre, what's going on? I thought we were pro-union, bud. What's up? What's happening?
Voted against.
That's a little weird.
Oh, but how about C-525? Oh, that C-525, very terrible. We were very against that. No more bills like 525, the conservative-sponsored bill.
Another conservative bill? Whoa! That's a little weird. Why do these conservatives hate unions so much? That's a little weird. What, an act to amend the Canada Labour Code, the Parliamentary Employment and Staff Relations Act, and the Public Service Labour Relations Act, Certification and Revocation, bargaining agent. Is this like to make like bargaining of unions harder, I think? I don't remember exactly what this bill is about.
That, once again, Pierre Poilievre voted for, while the other parties voted against it. But how about right to work? They're very against right to work.
True.
Except for the fact that Poilievre has been a big booster of U.S.-style right to work laws.
Got some real fucking pro-union guys here, you know? These guys are really pro-union. I think it's really funny, you know, because right to work laws, it's just like, it's explicitly anti-union. It's anti-scab stuff, right? Like, or not anti-scab. Right to work laws basically say, like, you know, if you're a worker and you're non-union and you want to go work, like, during a strike, so if you want to be a scab, you can be a scab. Protecting scabs' rights, basically. Which is silly and stupid, obviously. I remember, like, all the big, like, teacher strikes that happened because of, like, just how poorly their budgets were managed by the Liberals. This happened, like, forever ago. This is local Ontario shit. Like, there were constant, like, scab workers going in at all times to like, TA and do work. Because the unions were asking for, like, higher pay because they get paid like dog shit. So all the TAs went on, like, strike over that and shit. And I remember, like, my professors, like, complaining about that shit. One of them in particular was complaining about it because she's a tenured professor. And she's just like, dude, like, these strikes are, like, so dumb, bro. It's just like, I mean, aren't they just asking for, like, more pay mostly? Like, I mean, I know we don't have TAs because for whatever reason they never asked for TAs or something. I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, that's like the thing that basically sunk the Liberals in this province for like probably like a decade or some shit. How poorly they mismanaged that whole fucking crisis. It was such a shit show, and they're probably never gonna recover. Oh well. Don't come to Ontario, by the way. You don't live in this fucking province. This province is a fucking shithole.
So, it's just when you see something like this, something that is so incredibly dishonest. True. Completely ignores what the Conservative Party is, what they have fought for in their entire existence.
Decades.
How can you possibly trust anything in this platform?
True.
So it's beyond insane.
And this is just one example,
the Public
right?
Service Alliance of Canada writes here. This is about the bills, just to be clear what they were about. These bills were designed to weaken unions by forcing redundant and unreasonable financial reporting and by making it more difficult for Canadians in federally regulated workplaces to join a union.
Yeah, so more difficult to make unions, and yeah, financial reporting becomes a fucking pain in the ass for like union dues and shit. Just like this summarizes.
The Conservative Party has always been very openly anti-union.
True.
To pretend the opposite now, that Pierre Poilievre is going to be different when his career, like, it's one thing if he was, the one member of the party that was always fighting on behalf of unions and the working class, and then you could say, okay, well, the party was that, the party was anti-union, but now they're going to be different because Pierre Poilievre is at the head of it. But in fact, he's been the attack dog against unions again and again. He's been one of the leading voices attacking unions.
And hopefully, like, I know that the liberal, like, social media team has been quite good on this. They should immediately pick this up and be like, yeah, this guy, he's full of shit. He's not for unions. He's against blue collar work. Look at his voting record. Easy. That's like the super easy fucking attack angle.
Unions. So to pretend that he, as the head of the party now, is going to change things to be more pro-union is just completely ridiculous.
That's true.
So just to make it clear here, between 2004 and 2023, Poilievre voted against federal anti-scab legislation, not once, not twice, but 8 times. So again and again, his whole career has been about...
Yeah, that's the right to work law shit, right? That's the point of it. Very, very funny. Or, yeah, it's supposed to attack anti-scab shit. That's the point.
Fighting against unions. So, like, I don't even care what's in this platform at this point, because that's the obvious dishonesty at the heart of what he is trying to argue his campaign is about.
Yeah, because if they're willing to be blatantly dishonest about shit like this, what else are they being dishonest about? That's like the immediate question that should pop up in your head. It's just like, okay, so they're clearly lying about this. What else in there are they clearly lying about? Because you can't trust conservatives. All they do is just lie. They're full of it. They're liars. They're charlatans. I've talked about this before. Never trust or believe in anything that comes out of conservatives.
Which is for the working class, when it clearly is not about that.
Nope.
Not to mention, anti-union lobby groups are endorsing Pierre Poilievre's conservatives.
I wonder why they're doing that.
So this is references here. Merit Canada, which represents non-union employers in the construction sector. So Merit Canada backing Pierre Poilievre. Who are they? Well, during the Harper era, Merit Canada was one of the most active corporate lobbyists in the Prime Minister's office. So they heavily pushed Bill C-377, the bill that the party now claims to be against.
Whoa, an anti-union lobbyist group pushing for anti-union fucking laws to the conservatives, and the conservatives adopting those positions? Oh my god, say it ain't so. I am so shocked and surprised that this is the case. Who would have thought that who would have thought that this is conceivable? Incredible.
They are supporting Poilievre. Like, it's just crazy. Poilievre was a prominent supporter of the bill and also called for legislation that would make union dues optional, a cornerstone of right-to-work laws that, again, they now claim they're against, that undermine the collective bargaining process. Quote, I'm the first federal politician to make a dedicated push towards this goal, said Poilievre about introducing right-to-work legislation. Oh, but they're very...
Yeah, didn't he have like a like, not a press conference. There's like a video of him quite saying this, I'm pretty sure, right? Like a decent amount of time ago, like what, like 4 years ago probably, I think. I have like this like strange recollection of a video of Pierre Poilievre talking about right to work laws and him pushing for it.
No more of those right to work laws. Damn those politicians who fought for that stuff, like our leader of the party.
Yeah.
So, let me get to Pierre Poilievre, just giving an overview of what his platform is about.
It is a plan that will lower taxes and debt by getting rid of bureaucracy, consulting fees, waste, and excessive foreign aid to dictators, terrorists, and global bureaucracy. It is a plan.
What the fuck does that even mean? It's just buzzwords, right? The brain of the conspiratorial conservative has been titillated. Global bureaucracy, what, like the UN, like aid organizations? What the fuck does that even mean? Waste. What's waste mean? I don't know. Fucking bibbly bobbly boopily boppily. I don't know. Fucking, those are words. They mean things. They're stuff. What he means by probably waste is he wants to fire a bunch of people and send them out to the fucking private sector. Every single time with these fucking conservatives. It's no different. Like, I'm anticipating like Canadian Department of Government Efficiency or whatever to be established. Be like, all right, let's start like slashing and burning, getting rid of random fucking bullshit, and just send a bunch of public workers in the private sector, because that's what conservatives do all the fucking time. Make everything fucking worse for public services. So, because they want all those workers to go to the private sector. That's the point. Every single time. Without fail.
Plan to build homes by removing taxes and bureaucracy is a plan for safe streets by locking up criminals.
So, yeah, building housing by getting rid of bureaucracy and taxes? Like, what are you talking about? Again, like I said before, we have a housing crisis because we don't have, like, supply of housing, of which you had a direct hand in playing when you were, housing minister under the Harper government, or it's not exactly housing minister. He was minister of social something. I don't remember exactly what it was. Social planning and shit like that. He had a hand in approving housing projects. He approved no affordable housing projects. He'll talk about how he built 200,000 homes, which is a number he's not 100% accurate about, but close enough. Whatever. How he built 200,000 homes. Did he actually build them? Well, no. He more than likely gave approvals for them. But again, there's a lot of different other kinds of housing that exist, right? I can guarantee you, pretty much all of that shit was luxury fucking condos for speculative real estate assets for fucking foreign capital to come in and, speculate on those assets, because that's the point of it. In terms of affordability of those homes, yeah, that was non-existent. And guess what? Due to the migration waves that fucking happened in Canada, whoa, we had no housing for them. Whoa, housing crisis as a result. Crazy.
Bureaucracy. It is a plan to build homes by removing taxes and bureaucracy. It is a plan for safe streets by locking up criminals for a change. Change to unleash our resources so that we can...
Yeah, I don't, I don't understand, what crime wave is there. We took a look at the statistics. It's down from, the 90s, and it's gone back up a little bit. Hardly at all. So, again, what's the crime wave?
Is a plan for safe streets by locking up criminals for a change. Change to unleash our resources so that we can stand on our own 2 feet and stand up to Trump and anyone else from a position of strength. The choice...
So we know what he means by unleashing our resources. He just wants to build more pipelines or some shit. Whatever the fuck that means.
Is this a fourth Liberal term with Mark Carney, whose reckless Liberal plan will add even more debt than Trudeau, or a new Conservative government with a responsible plan to save $125 billion and put us back on the path to growth and security?
How is he gonna do that? I don't know. Magic. He's gonna wave his little fucking magic wand and be like, $125 billion have now been saved. Look at me. It's just but you didn't do anything, and now I am off like Tuxedo Mask.
I find it hilarious that Polyev is positioning his platform as change. It's on the big board in front of him. Change, when this is just your standard conservative platform of massive cuts and very little investment.
Yep.
So these cuts include, by the way, ending funding for the CBC. Now, I did a video.
He wants to end the... I guess I wasn't fully paying attention when I first watched this video. Yeah, he's been talking a lot about public media. He wants to have all of our fucking media be privatized. CBC, I think, is our biggest news organization. I think there's CP24, and CBC, which is publicly owned. Your tax dollars pay for this shit. What is Canada's biggest news station? It should be this. I'm pretty sure it's the CBC. And CTV, yeah. So CTV is privately owned, and CBC is our biggest. Yeah. It reaches the most. Let's see, what's the top 10? I'm curious. Global News, City News, CP24, Weather Network, and... we have a Bloomberg subsidiary here. I didn't know that. TSN, and this is all the sports stuff and entertainment stuff. So TSN, Sportsnet, E. And yeah, City News is, I believe, Toronto only, but Toronto's it's our biggest city, so it makes sense that they're fucking huge. And yeah, CP24, which is, it's based in Toronto. So yeah, makes sense.
I think it was about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. CBC News catches Loblaws overcharging customers. So Loblaws was...
Yeah, and this is why you want to have fucking public media, decommodified media, because guess what? They're more likely to do investigative journalism because they're not being held back by the profit motive. Again, the reason why generally speaking, you don't have a lot of American news media and corporations doing good journalism like this, because this is the 5th time this has happened in 3 years. Fucking grocers doing price gouging and bullshit, which seems to fucking happen all the goddamn time. This is the benefit of having public media. CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, is our biggest news aggregate. And, you know, give them more funding. If they keep doing good journalism like this, they deserve it. Why not? They're good to know. But, you know, typical, misweighing meat fucking bullshit, price gouging bullshit being done by Loblaws. This isn't the first time they did it. They also did it, I think, with, it was bread prices. They also did some bullshit with bread prices. So, you know, this is why it's good to have publicly owned media, guys. Shit like this.
Selling meat, including the packaging in the weighing of the meat. The reason I bring this up is because it is often CBC doing these sorts of investigations into corporate greed, because corporate-backed media rarely investigates their own being other corporations, because they're all in the same boat.
Because they're all privately owned.
You need places like the CBC to catch this. This is why there's this focus, even though cutting CBC funding is not supported by the majority of Canadians. So including it in the platform.
Yeah, what is the Canadian approval rating of CBC? I'm curious. Canadian approval rating of CBC. What's the polling on this? How much do we like this? Oh, they're gonna do it's gonna be nothing but the fucking party leaders, isn't it? Yeah. That's maybe 338 has a thing about this. Yes, we know. Liberal sweep. Yada yada yada. Thank you. Nah, it's not gonna give me what I want, is it? I know that broadly speaking, it's not popular to cut the CBC because it's just they do good reporting for Canada. Obviously, they do great reporting for us. It's one of our most reliable, sort of news stations.
There was no benefit to him politically to do that, but the benefit to him is that it's assigned to other corporations that he is on their side.
Pretty much.
It's incredibly, I mean, it's dishonest. It's sad that people fall for this kind of crap, thinking, oh yeah, this is real change, when this is just...
What else is here? What? Taxpayer Protection Act to ban new or higher federal taxes without asking taxpayers first in a referendum. Oh, that's what it is. So, I guess the point of this is basically, like, have a referendum to probably cynically and, like, say there's, like, a capital gains tax or some shit. You know, they can be, like, cynical about it and market it to people or some shit. And that'll take, like, a whole bunch of time. And then there could be lobbying and marketing campaigns done by the corporations to lobby against, like, capital gains taxes, for example. Random example. Also, yeah, cutting foreign aid, fantastic. We love losing soft power for no fucking reason because, I don't know, stupid, like, xenophobic nationalist bullshit. Whatever. Typical fucking nonsense.
Just back to what conservative governments do. They're also promising a, quote, Taxpayer Protection Act to ban new or higher federal taxes without asking taxpayers first in a referendum. Now, what's hilarious about this is that referendums cost money. Rachel Gilmore, who, by the way, is a fantastic journalist, you should follow her online, writes here, a referendum would be incredibly expensive. Electoral reform would have cost $300 million, for example. Second, good luck ever raising taxes again, including on the rich. So
that's true. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, the point of it is, like, they just want to, like kick the can down the road. Not kick the can down the road. Just basically, like, make it such that they can just, defer it to random people and be like, well, we're just never going to actually provide the money for the elections and just never hold the referendum, for example. Like, I don't think it really has to go without. It's just a really fucking dumb idea to have to, like, be like, we're going to have constant referendum for new federal prices or federal taxes. Because mostly what are the federal taxes going to go after? It's mostly going to be affected on rich people. That's the point. And people are, like, in their minds, their lizard brains are going to activate and be like, oh, the government wants to raise new taxes on me? I'm going to say no to that because I hate giving the government my taxes or whatever. Stupid bullshit like that. It's a cynical ploy, basically.
So, like, this is just to have to use a referendum
it's
for,
silly.
Say, a tax increase
like,
on the wealthy is bizarre, but would also cost more money than you should need to do.
It's just
for
really fucking
tax
dumb
increase
for no reason.
Also, they would lower education requirements for federal civil servants. Why? I don't know, but for some reason that's in here as well. So
I bet it's because they want a bunch of dumbasses. Yeah, they want cops to be federal civil servants. I'm making a bet, They want the dumbest among us to have a better chance or some shit. I don't know. Some insert joke about, like, American cops or some shit.
Let me get to the reaction from
More like ICE agents.
Mark Carney.
There are so many phantom numbers in that platform. But let's start with the approach. with respect to $10 a day childcare, with respect to dental care, farmer care. The approach is, if you already have it, you can keep it, but no one else can have it. So we have two types of Canadians. I thought a Canadian was a Canadian as a Canadian. In our country, that is the case.
That's true.
So you bet if you haven't had children and got them in, you get the point. Secondly, there's a phantom growth that comes from the sky in his platform that arrives and changes his numbers, even though he doesn't have a plan to fight against President Trump. He also has a tax cut, a bring-it-home tax cut that never comes home. It doesn't arrive until year 4 and 5, right when we see the need of Canadians. Our tax cut compared to his plan, I'll give you one number. He is 4 times larger this year. He's 4 times larger. These numbers are a joke. We aren't in a joke. We are in the worst crisis of our lives. It takes a serious government. It takes a serious plan. It takes a plan that delivers today. It takes a plan that delivers investment. It takes a plan that grows this economy, stands up to Trump, and moves forward with the brilliance of the...
Yeah, what is Pierre Poilievre's like plan to try to take on Trump? Like, I mean, it's just like, so far from what I know is he wants to remove the inter-provincial trade barriers, and like that's it. That's like the only way. It's just like more just faux idiotic isolationist bullshit, which is not going to be effective because it's just like, well, now we have like no one to trade with except for ourselves. It's really fucking dumb.
Workers here and across Quebec and across Canada. This is a real crisis, a real situation. The question is, within a week's time, who's going to be negotiating with President Trump and who's going to be managing the finances of this country? Is it going to be François-Philippe Champagne and myself and our team? Or is it going to be a group that made it up on a napkin, released it a couple of days before the election, and has never taken responsibility for these types of decisions in the past?
That's actually a really good point there by Mark Carney, because like we had no idea what the conservative platform was at all. Because again, all that Pierre has been fucking like campaigning on is his crowd sizes and ending wokeness and DEI and other whatever the fuck other like titillating conservative bullshit words you can just like randomly say.
That's the question.
I love how blunt Mark Carney is being here. In another part of that response, he compares Pierre Poilievre to Trump and how he's importing the ideas from Elon Musk and Donald Trump and trying to make Canada more American. This is the argument that I think liberals should have been making the entire time. That said, they're doing fine, at least based on polling. They don't need my advice. But, you know, Pierre Poilievre is more, his ideas are more right.
I don't know. Like, yeah, with you know, David Dole. Yeah, they probably should have been doing that earlier. But, I mean, their social media team has been doing that. Yeah, doing, like, the side-by-side comparisons of, like, Poilievre and Trump, you know, which is just like, yeah, keep doing that. The negative polarization is really effective.
Right wing, more American, more Republican than any previous conservative leader before him. So making that connection, especially right now, I think is important. It's important Canadians understand that what Poilievre is arguing for is, you know, cuts to services, lower taxes, but cuts to services, making Canada more like what America is. If you like that, then cool. I guess Pierre Poilievre's your guy. If you're aware of how disastrous the current state of the U.S. is, then maybe you understand the problem with that. But as I said before, Mark Carney is the perfect person to put forward a platform with investments, because it's hard to argue against a world-renowned economist and claim that you know more than him. Like, Pierre Poilievre...
Yeah, that's a really good point. Again, this is the guy who navigated, Carney is, like, the big reason why we got out of the recession pretty well of 2008, and also a big reason for us to why, like, Britain was able to navigate the crisis, the economic crisis caused by Brexit. Like, literally, Britain called him over and was like, hey, fam, like, you're like top dog at this shit. We saw what you did in 2008. Can you like help us with our fucking bullshit? And he's just like, I got you, fam. And guess what? The British economy is like doing fine basically because of it now. It's like because of that one guy. It's crazy.
On Twitter after the Liberals released their platform saying, after the last Liberal decade, Mark Carney today promised $130 billion in new inflationary spending that will drive up taxes, food, and housing costs. Amazingly, Carney plans to run even bigger inflationary deficits than Trudeau has already budgeted.
Bro, this man literally sounds no different than Trump, man. The rhetoric is the same, man. It's all gonna cause inflation. All this spending is gonna cause inflation. Yeah, and your fucking tax cuts aren't inflationary. What are you talking about?
So, this is a 20-year politician with no accomplishments under his belt. Like, I have no problem with career politicians personally if you have dedicated your life to helping people and doing things and you know, actually doing something while you're in there instead of just being a mouthpiece and an attack dog.
That's true.
But Pierre Poilievre has no accomplishments as a 20-year politician.
Yeah, like, what bills has this motherfucker passed? I mean, he's advocated for particular positions. Has he passed anything? No. Not at all.
And he's trying to argue against a world...
I guess, you know, he had a hand to play in our housing crisis, so, yeah. I guess there's that.
...renowned economist on how, you don't understand, your spending is deflationary, it's going to ruin the country. I don't think you're going to win that argument.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I hope people see through this.
I think you might be good,
You know, don't
buddy.
take polling for granted. Make sure you vote if you haven't voted already. It's
Vote!
bizarre times right now to see that there is a conservative leader closer to Trump than ever before at a time when
need to
we
vote.
simply cannot afford somebody like that to lead the country.
That's true. He's spitting. He's spitting. And yeah, like, let's just take a quick look at the fucking polling. Like, this is what it's looking right now. Right, like right now. This is our, basically, this is our 538. It's 338 because that's the amount of seats that exist in Canada. Haha, we're very hilarious and original. So cool and very good. Anywho, yeah, like, like, these are the three, like, solidly conservative fucking provinces. Manitoba is in fucking play. Yeah, that's how you know something fucking bad is going on with the fucking conservatives. Like, not a great situation here at all. And yeah, like, currently what? You need 172 to get the outright majority. Liberals are projected to get 185. Like, this is a really bad look. Even the Liberals are slated to win Quebec, bro. This is typically what? The Bloc always fucking win this shit. It's insane, bro. What a fucking disaster. But, you know, I mean, I've talked about this before. Generational fumble by the Conservatives. And, yeah, this is pretty much what I mean. Like, they were slated to have an outright majority. Like, this, I think, was, like, in the 200s. It was going to be a slaughter. And then, you know, Trudeau does the correct thing in resigning. Carney comes in and revitalizes the fucking party. All the dumb fuck... I mean, Trump also significantly helped with all of his rhetoric, trying to call us the fucking 51st state because of, again, let's be honest here. Come on, we're keeping it $1.50. It's the Justin Trudeau... Melania fucking bullshit. We all know the meme. We all know the meme. This is why fucking Trump did all that fucking rhetoric. Bro got put in the fucking cuck chair and he got fucking super triggered about it. He got put in the cuck chair, he was super triggered about it. And yeah, that's pretty much why. And this is the consequences of that. Quite literally being borne out instantaneously. It's fucking crazy, man. It is ridiculous that the Liberals are just have gotten such a ridiculous comeback. It's truly quite incredible, I have to say. Anywho, okay. We are done with that shit. Lovely. Alright. We got some more Leek Hegseth. Love talking about my favorite guy, Leek Hegseth. Took that one from Hassan. That's a good one by Hassan. A good one. I'm going to give him that. Is a military coup unfolding at the Pentagon? From our boy, Ken Klippenstein. The Hegseth scandal threatens civilian control of the military. Oh, great. Lovely. So, we all know that the Signal group chat leaked again. Sir, a second group chat leak has hit the Pentagon. We love that. But what we got here? You know, Hegseth is a stupid Crusader LARPer. We all know this. He's drunk all the time because he's a Crusader LARPer. I mean, those guys were drunk all the fucking time. Like, banting about in Levant, trying to, like, kill a bunch of Saracens or whatever the fuck. But, whatever. Nice meme. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is embroiled in yet another scandal, but there's a far greater crisis lurking behind his leaky ship, one that has real consequences for America. It is a campaign of subversion carried out by the military brass, one that is undermining the very principle of civilian control in the military through leaks, forced firings, insubordination, other forms of bureaucratic intransience. The Pentagon bureaucracy is going out of its way to destroy his tenure, something he was plenty capable of himself. Yeah, like, I think I talked about this potential theory that, like, the Pentagon is not fucking happy with Pete Hegseth. And I was just like, is there, like, the chance that the brass themselves, because they're a bunch of, like, dumb fuck West Point fucking liberals or whatever, might just oust Pete Hegseth themselves because of just how ridiculously incompetent he's been. Like, this is a really good point here by Ken Klippenstein. This could, undermine the principle of civilian control of the military. That's true, because, I mean, Pete Hegseth's like a veteran. He has been in the military. He has, like, experience, I guess, enough to be, like, a what? Fucking general or anything? To be Secretary of Defense? No. I mean, he's a complete dumbass. Like, as you can clearly see by all the fucking Signal group chat leaks. But, well, Big meme. Big meme. Because typically it's supposed to be the Senate that is confirming the Secretary of Defense, and that's sort of the, representation of the civilian, like, control of the military. Because Congress is the one who approves the Secretary of Defense, but he pretty much was approved on partisan lines, so, I know that a lot of the brass within the military is just like, fuck this guy, he's just a complete dumbass. As much as Hegseth's detractors might be right that he is chaotic and unqualified, a senior serving officer sent an email exchange with me this week. He has Senate confirmed it's up to Donald Trump to remove him, not the uninformed military, because they want someone else to lead them. That's so funny that it's put that way. I almost feel like this is like, this could be serious, or it could be a fucking complete joke. Uninformed military. Yeah, the military. Very well known for being uninformed. Hegseth is, of course, a dumbass. He vows to bring back a warrior culture, but all I see is a culture warrior. His focus on fighting wokeness in the military is a tedious detour in AM radio slop, especially while the U.S. is engaged in real wars in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and here at home. Uninformed military officers and Pentagon officials I've talked to agree with this assessment, and they agree that those trying to defeat Hegseth are operating dangerously outside their lane. As one said to me over the weekend, you can't say you're defending your oath in the Constitution while you're working to undermine it. That's a good point, Because, God, it's so fucking funny that, like, a sort of, like, pillar of, like, American sort of institutions and everything is potentially being undermined because of just how much of a fucking complete dumbass the one dude is. It's fucking hilarious to me. Caroline Levitt said Monday that the entire Pentagon is working against Hegseth. Whatever you think of Hegseth or the hyperbole, that's not good for America. That's true. We have a civilian in charge of the military, with the president as a commander-in-chief, to ensure that the military is accountable to the people and their elected representative, not to the whims of those in uniform. If there is one basic element in our Constitution, it is the civilian control of the military. President Harry Truman once said, generals and admirals don't decide their priorities or their budget or even their own terms of service. Yeah, because obviously this could very, very easily lead down to, like, military dictatorship. As Secretary of Defense, Hegseth is supposed to embody civilian control of the military, a civilian who oversees the Pentagon, not a part of it, yet his office has all been hollowed out in recent days, with 5 of his top aides being mysteriously drummed out. This includes, those are the 5 dudes. Caldwell, one of the people fired, allude to the dynamic in a Monday interview. Let's be honest, everyone knows that that's the leaks. Knows where that's the coming from. What? Where that's coming from? That's at the leaks. Okay. It's from the career staff who don't like what the president, the secretary, and vice president want to do. There's people on the joint staff that I've come to respect, but a lot of them are incredibly hostile to the secretary, to the president, the vice president's worldview. Yeah, because it's kind of fucking dumb. They're a bunch of West Point liberals who probably disagree with the, all the willy-nilly fucking OPSEC leaks and shit like that, and they think that everyone is incredibly incompetent. Now, is it a good, it's understandable why they think like this, but what they're trying to do in order to, in terms of, trying to force people out, is, technically speaking, you could justify it as, a fucking military coup. Because of just how incompetent, how much of an idiot Hegseth is. Now, what would have been better for these guys to do is, instead of, randomly disappearing people, they should just, see if they can, nudge Congress into, doing something about this. Because I can guarantee you could probably get some Republicans on board, more neocon Republicans, on board with, getting rid of Pete Hegseth. So then they can have like a justification that way, but even then, it's like it's not great, really. It's just kind of fucking bad. For all the concerned people that have been expressing about a constitutional crisis, we're closer to one than we are with immigration. A senior retired general officer tells me. As he and others I talked to have explained, Hexeth is being undermined and perhaps even drummed out of office by the uninformed military aided by the permanent bureaucracy. One official told me that there had been tension between Hexeth's office and the top commander in the Middle East over policy and priorities. A senior military intelligence specialist told me that Hexeth is near universally loathed by the uninformed colleagues he works with. Because it makes sense, right? Like, why these people are probably really uninformed. They have no idea about these signal chats. They probably should be included. I guess it depends on, like, their classifications or whatever. Whatever. They're putting over, like, a bunch of classified information, and they're trying to make sure that it's not in the congressional records, which is illegal, so that these guys don't know about it and don't fucking leak anything to the press, right? They're trying to, like, do the worst OPSEC possible to keep OPSEC, like, away from themselves. Does it kind of make sense, you know? They're doing really lazy operational security to try to, like, keep things out of the, you know, the people who are way more fucking qualified in terms of operational security. It's so fucking cartoonishly stupid, dude. On the rare occasion these days that civilian control has been raised at all by the press, it's inverted to say the firing of this or that general somehow undermines civilian control of the military. Wait, what? On the rare occasion these days that civilian control has been raised at all by the press, it's inverted to say that the firing of this or that general somehow undermines civilian control of the military. Ah, okay, I see what's being said here. Yeah, that's not how that works, right? Because, like, the generals are, like, they're just suits for the most part. They're suits, they're bureaucrats. They get in there through, well, not by being voted in, generally speaking, right? It's a hierarchy. You know, people get promoted through those positions. They're not, like, beholden to civilians, right? They don't have to be. These same stories often quote generals criticizing the firings with zero awareness of the irony. In some cases, civilian control is outright dismissed as an annoying detail. Former Council on Foreign Relations President Richard N. Haas scoffed at the relevance of civilian control on MSNBC's Morning Joe yesterday. You've got obviously civilian primacy, but you know, you have a civilian in the Pentagon who's violating rules, he said. I mean, Pete Hegseth is very incompetent, but, like, the problem then, like, you shouldn't be criticizing, like, you should criticize Pete Hegseth for being a complete fucking moron, but more so you should be criticizing Congress for not trying to do anything possible to get him out. If it's because they're the ones who put him in there, they approved of him, so they should be the ones that get him out. You know, push something through the fucking House and the fucking Senate and have the president fucking sign it, but that's probably not going to happen because of how partisan it is. It's really fucking funny. Instead, what we get in the news media is a titillating blow-by-blow, with military brass leaking unflattering but often frivolous details about Hegseth's conduct. It is direct retaliation on the part of the bureaucracy, what Donald Trump calls the deep state. You know, the one time, like, the whole fucking deep state thing is, you know, actual unironic, like, retaliation. It's pretty fucking funny. I'm not comfortable with the cabal of officers agitating to undermine civilian control, the retired general officer says. He points out that liberals and Trump haters should be equally concerned. If Bernie Sanders were president and he was slashing the defense budget, I would imagine that people would be zealously defending him, saying that cutting back the military is the will of the American people, and that's why they elected him in the first place. That's why they elected him in the first place. That's true. That's true. More than just the abstract concerns about civilian control, the stakes are very real. Now, with departures of Hegseth's top civilian aides, the Pentagon brass is more empowered to run defense policy with minimal interference. This comes in context of a growing war on the southern border and ongoing tensions with Iran. Tensions which nearly culminated in a massive U.S.-Israeli strike, as the New York Times reported last week. Oh, really? They were gonna fucking do it? I don't know. Like, okay, the question is like, I don't know if I 100% agree with this. I understand like the sort of idea here, but like I feel like the like Hexit would be like, and his aides would probably be okay with going along with the brass on this one, right? But I guess it's like sort of like the problem is that the brass are more likely to want to do a strike because it's a bunch of neocons. That's a concern I can definitely understand, but like I feel like Hexit would be okay with going along with it, you know? Like he'd be fine with it. Like the brass says like, yeah, we can like hit Iran, just like hit these facilities and it'll do damage. And if you're like, I don't know, persuading enough to him, like he could probably just go along with it, right? I mean, I don't think that's like beneath Hexit. And then wouldn't be like what Hexit being like incompetent or whatever. If you just be going along with the military brass, with like the bureaucracy in the military. As the Times describes it, while Trump officials oppose military action, including Hexit, Michael Eric Kurilla, the 4-star Army general and leader of U.S. Central Command, wanted to join Israel. Really? That's interesting that they actually decided to fucking oppose military action. Oh, that's fascinating. I guess they still want to maintain this sort of like anti-war sort of justification thing. That's fascinating. I wasn't expecting that. The military was scrambling to develop an operations plan to attack Iran, largely according to the Times because Kurilla was nearing retirement and wanted to go out with a bang. Yeah. You know, just like how Pete Hegseth's the dumbass fucking culture warrior. Well, it turns out, like, same with a lot of these, like, stupid, dumb fuck generals. All they care about is their own fucking personal glory. This is, like, what is this, like, some fucking weird 40k shit? That is ridiculous. With a record number of B-2 bombers and 2 aircraft carriers deployed in the region, the military is doing what it does, which is to be ready when the President and the Secretary of Defense gives the order. But a military commander going rogue and preparing for a strike with the added danger that he maneuvers his forces in such a way to possibly cause an inadvertent war, that's the very reason the Secretary of Defense is in the chain of command. Yeah, so they can be like the final say. I understand, like, yeah, you should make fun of Pete Hegseth, but yeah, this is probably much worse. I was like memeing about it, like, because I mentioned in the video before, when the fucking group chat leak was reported on, it's just like, dude, like, is there going to be like a fucking coup by the brass to try to get rid of this guy because of how much of an idiot he is? Like, that's fucking crazy, but, you know, it could fucking happen. Part of the reason civilian control gets so little attention is because of how much it's been eroded already. When Barack Obama became president, he hired a retired general to be his national security advisor, and he hired retired generals and admirals as CIA director and the director of national intelligence. Yeah, it makes sense. So for, like, you know, he puts in the retired, like, general people because, well, it seemed like, oh, they have experience with these matters, but they could just, like, go along with, like, what the sort of military brass can just go along with it. Obama was clearly trying to shore up his national security credentials, but the move also politicized the military and that these were Democrat generals and admirals. Since then, some of the appointees, Mike Hayden, for example, have been vociferous Trump critics and regulars on the partisan circuit. I find it interesting that these are like wouldn't most of these Democrats already, like, generals already be, like, Democrats, right? Because, again, a lot of these dudes go to the same, like, military academies to get highly fucking educated, right? So they're probably going to be more liberals in general. This isn't just a Democrat problem, though. When Donald Trump nominated retired Marine Corps General James Mattis, the warrior monk, to be his first Secretary of Defense in 2017, it was the first time since 1950 that a retired general had been selected for the civilian position, and only the second time in U.S. history. Retired generals are forbidden by law from serving as defense secretary before a 7-year cooling off period, but Trump waived the requirement because he couldn't find like any other dipshit to probably do it. That's why, or that's potentially a reason why. Mattis ended up quitting because of a dispute with Donald Trump over the president's desire to remove remove U.S. troops from Syria, but the tenure left behind a sense that a retired general knew better, because the opposite of what the Constitution sought to establish. Basically, the opposite of what the Constitution sought to establish. That is pretty interesting. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, to be honest, right? Because, like, Trump's an idiot, and he's being framed by the media as an idiot, which is a correct framing. He is an idiot. But it allows for more fucking... It's, you know, it's the whole thing with the fucking propaganda and shit like that, you know. More sinister potential actors can get in, take advantage of the chaos in order to, well, undermine certain parts of the Constitution. When Joe Biden became president, he selected retired Army General Lloyd Austin to be his Secretary of Defense. Democratic Congressman Jared Golden, a member of the Armed Services Committee and a Marine Corps veteran, voted against Austin. Per his statement, history shows that Congress has long respected and taken seriously the requirement of civilian control and provided a waiver for only the most exceptional circumstances. I do not believe we find ourselves in such circumstances today. Senior military officials also tell me that many of the top military commanders bristle because the Secretary of Defense was only a major when he served in the military and thus is far beneath them. Yeah, again, it's like the fucking, the strict fucking hierarchy of control, right? You know, a lot of people in the military are going to be quite pissed about being commanded by a guy who's got a lower rank than them and is just, like, seen as unqualified. Now, they're not wrong when they call him unqualified, but, you know, he's more of a fucking civilian than he is than, you know, the most of the military brass who, again, are, you know, private individuals who aren't, like, voted in there. They're not voted in by the people. A lot of them, you know, join the military and rise up through the ranks, get, like, their qualifications that way, go to a lot of, like, military academies to learn about, like, you know, doctrine and strategy and shit like that, and, you know, become, well, more or less unaccounted for bureaucrats that no one fucking voted for. Congressman Adam Smith, ranking member of the Armed Services Committee, even told Anderson Cooper yesterday that Trump's new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kine, seems like a decent person, but he's only a 3-star general, to give you a sense of the world's obsession with rank. Dude, fucking hierarchy, bro. I invited the congressman to consider how many wars his brilliant 4-stars have won. Why should they be in charge? That's a good question. These are really good points, yeah. Undermining of civilian control of the military can certainly be a problem, right? Because, like, you know, I meme saying, like, is, like, the military gonna do a fucking coup of fucking Pete Hegseth or some shit because of how incompetent he is? That would be fucking wild if that would happen. And yeah, I definitely do think that would probably not be a good thing. If it's Trump removing him, then I think that's obviously, like, fine. It's Trump getting rid of him because of how incompetent he is. But, you know, more than likely, another fucking, like, retired general is probably going to go in his fucking place or some shit, right? Like, that's what always seems to happen. But what? As per NPR, the White House is looking to replace Pete Hegseth as defense secretary. And better than the military doing a coup. Speaking on the process of looking for a new leader of the Pentagon, according to a U.S. official who is not authorized to speak publicly. This comes as Hegseth is again mired in controversy over sharing operational details. He's under fire after revelations that he shared classified information in a group chat with his wife, brother, and lawyer, according to the official. It's so fucking dumb that he's doing that. Jesus. Source with Hegseth using the Signal messaging app on his personal smartphone, detailing month-by-minute classified information about airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen. Happened at the same time in March. That leak hours before strikes could have endangered U.S. pilots. Already, the Houthis have shot down 2 American Predator drones. Trying to see if there's, like, anything interesting being said here. While White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt denied that there was an effort to replace Hegseth, posting on X that President Trump stands strongly behind him. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Trump backed Hegseth and said concerns over the Signal chats are a waste of time. We saw the interview. He's doing a great job. Ask the Houthis how he's doing. I mean, he's bombed, like, random civilians, but, like, you know, whatever, dude. Exit denied wrongdoing is what the media does. Yeah, it's saying to try to slash and burn people who ruin their reputation. Not gonna work with me. I don't know, buddy. You already did that with the big fucking league, but it's whatever. Exit with likely referring to four senior advisors who left the Pentagon abruptly last week. Former Defense Department spokesperson. Yeah, these are the people who got fired. 3 other dudes did a they did a joint statement calling their dismissal unconscionable and saying they have not been told what they stand accused of leaking. Well, I do kind of think, yeah, it makes sense to like, yeah, why the fuck did we get kicked out? I think these guys who got kicked out are probably like collateral damage because the military, like the brass broadly speaking, I think they know that if they were to try to like get rid of and fire Pete Hegseth, well, they know that they can't actually do that. And if they were to do that, what they would be doing is unconstitutional. Like, it would make them look really, really bad. All 3 of us served our country honorably in uniform. For 2 of us, this included deployments, yada, yada, yada. Based on our collective service, we understand the importance of information security and worked every day to protect it. You know, we have no idea if they, like, even caused anything. Caldwell and Selnick are longtime associates. New Hampshire Senator Jean Shaheen, a Democrat on the Armed Services Committee, said in a statement that Hegseth should accept responsibility. But we must not forget that ultimate responsibility here lies with President Trump for selecting a former weekend TV host. This is the thing that fucking Ken Klippenstein was saying before. Obviously about like, you know, how Democrats will like hand ring over like experience. Democrats and Republicans will like hand ring over fucking experience being the most important thing. That rank is the most important thing when Secretary of Defense should be a civilian held position because it can be held accountable to the people. Without any experience successfully leading a large and complex organization to run our government's biggest department and make life and death decisions for our military and country, she said. There was a correction. Oh, they misspelled something. Okay. But yeah, that's like the thing that was mentioned earlier. You know, it's like, oh, it's more important that we have like experienced people. We need to have like retired generals who are more than likely going to go along with the bureaucracy because they're generals or whatever, and not be as held accountable to the president or to the people or whatever. But like, I also argue like, to really how much is that the case, right? Like, the presidents, generally speaking, have just gone along with a lot of like stupid, bloody like strikes and warmongering. Because, you know, let's be honest here, every fucking president has been a fucking warmonger ever since, like, ever since 9/11. It's been really bad, right? So, like, can you make the argument that there is any more, like, sort of civilian control of, like, the military or something? You know, that there's civilian accountability? Not really, given, like, how much power has been given to, like, the executive branch. But, you know, I do overall, like, agree with the sort of sentiment that this being put here because, like, yeah, I mean, if you put, like, former military brass into, like, important, like, positions of power, like, that are supposed to be held by, like, average civilians, it's can be a lot of consequences because they could just go along with what the brass is saying, for example. And it's just like, well, then who has control? Is this being held accountable to the civilians? Well, no, not really. But then again, I think that's just been, like, broken, like, forever ago, right? Like, that's already been, like, sort of worked around. I don't know. That's really all I have to overall say. Is civilian control, you know, civilian sort of control and accountability being undermined of the military because of, like, shit like this? You know, a potential fucking military coup at the fucking Pentagon because of how incompetent Pete Hegseth is? Yeah, probably. I think that's not hyperbolic to say at all, but, you know, they're gonna, like, frame it in such a way that, like, oh, no, there's, like, nothing really going on here, guys. He just gotten rid of because he's, like, a complete incompetent. Now a more, like, you know, competent person is now put into place. It's really interesting how it took, like, you know, Trump to really, like, sort of test the limits as to, like, how bad it could potentially get for, like, a fucking issue like this, even though it's, like, because of Obama, this became, like, a precedent and shit like that. Thanks, Obama, you know, good work as always. Yeah, I don't know, not really much else to say about that, but besides, like, guys, I think it might be bad that the military brass might be trying to take over the Pentagon, and and you know, I guess this is sort of the byproducts of putting in, like, I don't know, someone who's such a fucking idiot into power. But again, like, it's so multifaceted. There's like it's like you just basically blame everyone here, and like, it doesn't matter who you like blame here. It's all equally like makes sense. Like, you know, blame Congress for voting in Hegseth. Blame fucking military brass for trying to undermine civilian control and undermine the Constitution. Blame fucking Trump for putting in this complete fucking moron into power. Yeah, that's really all there is to say about it. Tim Pool, huh? What's he got to say? I guess this is about, like, the Pete Hegseth shit. What do we got?
Many of the news organizations that are represented in this room.
Tim, why are you wearing a suit, buddy? Zelensky can't wear a suit. God, the fact that he's a part of the White House press corps is just so fucking stupid. But where's his suit? Bro still wears the fucking beanie, too. God, it's hilarious.
Have marched in lockstep on false narratives, such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now...
Yeah, because he's really saying that the thing that Trump said during Charlottesville is a fucking hoax, buddy. Do we need to pull up the clip? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, dude. Nice meme.
What's being called the Maryland Man hoax, where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by two different judges, I believe, is just simply being referred to as a Maryland man over and over again.
Yeah, that's just a complete fucking lie. He is a man in Maryland. He lived in Maryland with his wife, who's an American citizen, and he got black-bagged and sent to a fucking random prison gulag, and two judges did not agree with the Trump administration on that. They told him, you're going to bring him back. So, you know, Tim Pool, of course, being a liar, but because he's a fucking stupid racist, he's gonna fucking lie about this shit, so whatever.
Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies, you've created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on, following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you can comment on that unprofessional behavior, as well as...
Bro, he's fucking... one of the first questions he's asking is to just fucking cry about the fucking media, calling him an unqualified fucking hack, which is what he is objectively. God, that's fucking hilarious. Buddy, you're the fucking same dude who's made, what, 60 fucking videos about an oncoming Civil War II electric boogaloo. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, you are wholeheartedly unqualified for the fucking current position that you're sitting in. Also, where's your fucking dumbass suit? Where's your suit? Where's your suit, Tim?
Elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure. Well, we certainly welcome diverse viewpoints in this room, which is one of the...
That is so fucking funny that they're saying that they welcome diverse viewpoints, even though they just got rid of and banned, like, what, AP News, because they were just like, no, we're not gonna do what you want in terms of, like, that dumbass Gulf of America shit. Shut the fuck up. You don't fucking welcome diverse fucking points of view. Hilarious. God, that's so ironic coming from these morons. Getting spammed with messages. I don't want to get spammed with messages. I don't care about that shit, bro. Okay, it's a meme. Musk wants to leave politics because he's tired of attacks from the left. Bullying works. We love bullying. He needs to be bullied more. I fucking hate Elon. Trump was not right about everything. God, it's so fucking funny that all because of, like, his stupid dumbass, like, Path of Exile 2 streams, when everyone was telling him to eat shit and fucking die, that now he's, like, feeling upset about politics because everyone fucking hates it. Like, this is just so fucking pathetic, dude. Oh my god. That's so fucking good, man. Listen, guys. You know what they say. Bullying works, guys. It works. Hey, maybe people would not have... you would have not wanted to leave politics if you didn't just, like, all willy-nilly just fired a bunch of fucking random people for, like, no reason and ruined the lives of a bunch of people. Let's be quite honest here. But, you know, guys, I think you should keep bullying him for, you know, doing a Nazi salute. That's really all there is to say about this, isn't there? Keep bullying Elon Musk. Bullying Elon Musk is always good. I'm going to talk about this next. Alright, what do we got here? Pokimane calls out rich people while being a multimillionaire. Gets corrected, then says it's about the ultra giga rich, not her. Okay, like, are we going to have to sort of talk about the distinction of proletariat and bourgeoisie here? Because again, this exact same fucking argument has been called out about actors and musicians in the past. How many people have like talked about like called out like Chappell Roan, who talked about like how average workers are, for example, like not getting the payments that they need in order to survive and aren't getting the fucking healthcare benefits? How many times has that happened? Probably very, very fucking often. So let's be fucking honest here. This guy, this Yeet fucking dumbass, TMZ for streamers. I can only imagine just how much grass this individual is probably touching. And is also like a fucking like weirdo fucking DGG orbiter seemingly. But well, you know, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. So she's not wrong. Like, she is rich herself. But again, it's about who owns the means of production. Does Pokimane own the sort of platform? Does she have stake in the fucking platform that she streams on in particular? Is she a part of the bourgeoisie? Nah. It's a little weird. It's a bit of a blurry line because streamers, obviously, they're the ones who can download their own softwares needed for streaming. They have to buy the equipment, buy the microphone, buy the webcams, buy the other associated electronic equipment in order to be able to stream. So there is an argument to say that, yes, streamers are, well, the main sort of like creators of their own content. They have full creative liberty and freedom to sort of do whatever they want. They don't have a boss above them. They have full ability, and they also hire teams to talk, like, you know, editors, like thumbnailers and other like annotators or some shit. Like, it doesn't matter, whatever. For people who help sort of like help in the creation of content. But do streamers have any ownership in the direction and policies that are adopted by the platforms that they stream on? No. So in reality, there still is someone above them. It's just the tenuous link there is significantly more abstract. It's a little weird, right? Like, I've made the argument before that you can certainly say that do streamers own their own means of production? No. Technically speaking, no. Because if the platform goes away, it dies, for example. Let's say Twitch overnight just shits the bed, it's gone. They're out of a job. You can honestly argue that their position is way more unstable than in comparison to a lot of other sort of jobs and positions, right? Because if platforms just all of a sudden poof go away, like, what is this streamer to do? This is like the same shit that, you know, when Twitch left Korea, for example. There was quite a few Twitch streamers in Korea, but because of net neutrality laws, and by net neutrality laws, what I mean by that is anti-net neutrality laws that were passed in South Korea at the behest of the telecom companies, your T1s and Samsungs of the world. A lot of the Korean Twitch streamers were forced to leave Twitch and go to Africa, for example. Something that Africa is totally okay with because, hey, guess what? They benefit way more significantly from that because they get more of the market share of streaming within Korea, which I don't know how big of a market that is. That can be debated, but whatever. Doesn't really matter all that much. Because Twitch was forced to leave because they would have had to pay a lot more for broadband on, well, the Korean lines that are controlled by T1 and I don't think Samsung is one of the telecom companies. It's T1 and KT. T1 and KT. Those are the two main telecom providers within South Korea. They didn't want a bunch of foreign stuff going in. They wanted to make it more restrictively expensive for foreign companies to be able to use their broadband. And so a law was passed about that for the benefits of those two particular corporations. Thus making more of a suffering for net neutrality within South Korea. So, because of that, all the streamers that were on Twitch are forced to move to, say, Africa or other streaming platforms. They just got fucked over like that. Crazy. So again, did they have a choice in what happened to their platform of choice? Those streamers. Were they able to have a say in that? No. They were not. They had the rug basically pulled out completely under them because of corporate fucking greed by KT and T1. So, again, I sort of posit the question. If we are talking about people who have a lot of money from their particular line of work, musician, streamer, actor, are they the owners of their own means of production? Because that's the sort of distinction there in particular, right? It's not about how much money they have. Do you think musicians have like a say in what like their record labels put out and how they have certain conduct, certain conduct that they have? Not really. They don't really have much of a say about that, which makes them, well, in the sort of Marxist distinction of who's bourgeois and who's proletariat, that would make the musicians the proletariat. They are the product that is being marketed by these companies, for example. The distinctions there are a little unique, obviously. But if we are talking about only in the frames of like how much money is made by people, it really makes it sort of ridiculous and stupid to have these like conversations, because like that doesn't really matter to these people. No, it's mostly just a bunch of people who want to like have another idiotic excuse to probably go after Pokimane, right? Because it's not about like her being a multimillionaire. It's about who has functional control over what they can do. Twitch does have a TOS, for example, that you have to adhere to. Do streamers have a say in what the TOS is covered? No, they don't have any say over that. That is also technically like one of their bosses, one of the people who have power over them.
Do you think someday we'll have a revolution like that in America? Right? It's getting there, right?
We already have one.
Another one.
What's going on?
I think she's in France currently right now. I suppose. So I guess she's like maybe met up with some like random French lefties talking about like the French Revolution or some shit. Maybe some guy like mentioned the historical event. Maybe.
What's going on?
The wealth disparity's getting bad.
The wage gap, I hate that shit.
No, wealth disparity.
Wealth disparity.
Wage gap is like between men and women. Men and women, we love each other.
Facts.
And we hate the rich. Anyway.
Real.
Too much.
Aren't you the rich?
No. Like the ultra rich. The ultra giga rich. The unnecessary.
I mean, Pokimane is rich, but like, yeah, again, like the distinctions that I'm saying, like, does she have control over the means of her own production, right? Like, Pokimane's not like a fucking communist or whatever. She's probably like a social democrat or whatever, or like some flavor of progressive fucking liberal, right? Like, she is rich, but again, like what I mentioned before, does she have say over what the platform that she currently streams on, what they can do to produce content to have like more like, I don't know, preferable outcomes for herself, to accrue more capital for herself? No, she doesn't have that. She can't do that. She has a lot of clout and power and can make suggestions, I assume. Probably not. Maybe? I don't think so. Maybe? Maybe. But does she have a say? Is whatever she would say, would that be sort of like a doctrine that Twitch would adopt? No, she doesn't have that power. She doesn't have that clout or ability. I don't think so. So, I don't think what she's saying is not ridiculous. She is a part of the rich, but she's rich. She's not bourgeoisie. She doesn't have control over, well, the means for her production, right? Obviously, she has, like, the ability to, you know, privately own all of the equipment necessary to be able to stream. So she has creative liberty in that sense. But that's creative liberty. Like I said before, if the platform were to go poof, she'd be out of a job. Or have to go to another platform, negotiate a contract with, like, YouTube or some shit. Random example, obviously. But, oh yeah, also, yeah, she's under contract with Twitch. Right? A lot of big streamers are fucking contracted to Twitch, for example. I completely forgot about that fucking distinction, right? So, yeah, she's a contractor that works for Twitch. She is essentially hired by Twitch. They give her a fucking salary. She puts out content according to whatever the fucking contract says, like how much time, like even ad breaks and stuff like that. Like I said before, she doesn't actually really own her own means of production. That's like the point. So pointing out the fact that she's rich is a meaningless distinction here. It doesn't mean anything.
To clarify, they're gonna clip that and it's gonna make you look bad.
Oh,
You gotta say the billionaires.
the
That's
billionaires.
true.
You are rich.
The Bezos.
You can't be saying that.
I'm rich in friendship.
Yes.
So she's not wrong when she says this. She's not, you know, like, obviously is, you know, is she, like, part of the rich or something? Does she have, like, means and says within the like, platform in terms of, like, policy or whatever? No, she doesn't. Like, she doesn't. Not at all. But, you know, people who are fundamentally dishonest, like drama farmers like this, are going to say, like, she meant she's a rich and she's, like, making fun of the rich, when it's just like, no, it's about, like, outlining relationships to, like I said before, the means of production. Like, you know, if we want to get all fucking Marxist about it, but whatever. None of these people really give a shit. It's all about, like, going after Pokimane for being, like, a flavor of liberal progressive. That's really about it. It's silly. It's stupid. Oh, I gotta get the fucking... I must do this meme real quick. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Ew! Oi. Alright. Tim Cast News did an interview with Christy Nome, huh? That's gonna be funny to see. Probably very stupid and very dumb. I got a final meme probably here. What is this clip about? What do we have here? I know that Maya, she runs a 501c3 animal sanctuary. That's nice. I think that's cool. And she makes, like, content about it. I think that's cool. What's up? What we got here?
Here's the deal, guys. The Endangered Species Act is the most efficient law that we have in protecting endangered species right now.
Oh, okay. She's talking about EPA regulations here, right? We broadly speaking, we understand that Trump has put in fucking fossil fuel cronies into the EPA to, well, undermine it, broadly speaking, right? And yeah, it makes sense that Maya is probably very concerned about that in particular, given the fact that she runs a fucking animal sanctuary. Crazy.
All right. It means that we cannot kill them. It means we can't export them. It means that we have to protect their habitat. It means we have to have recovery plans. It means that we can't harm them.
True.
Right?
People are saying this.
Right now, National Marine Fisheries Service and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced a proposed rule to rescind the regulatory definition of harm under the Endangered Species Act and proposes the definition of take instead. Let me...
Take instead of harm. Okay. So instead of the term harm being used, so taking their habitat, taking imports and exports, taking, okay. That is like, because the problem with that is like, that is very fucking broad. With harm, it's pretty fucking obvious. What can be meant by harm? Well, say dumping of toxic waste chemicals, right? That harms a habitat. But does that take away a habitat, for example? No, that would not take away a habitat. The habitat would still exist under the fucking EPA. It's not being taken away from those animals, but it's definitely being harmed and causes consequences.
I'm going to save you
So that's
the
like an
mumbo jumbo. I'm
example.
just going to translate it. They want to replace harm with take. Why? Because harm includes significantly changing, disrupting, or degrading habitat.
Yes, it's about pollution. That's why. They basically want companies to be able to pollute like rivers and streams and shit like that. That's what this means.
Because that would harm species, right? Because they need a place to live. Take
Right.
just means that they can no longer take them, or that they won't take them, right, from their habitats.
Exactly, yeah.
Removing the definition of harm removes all the habitat protections that comes with it. Why do they want to do this? Because it makes logging, drilling, mining, etc. possible.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you're not taking the animals out of their habitat, you're just taking their habitat away from them. So remove, because that is some fucking sneaky shit, to be honest, right? Like, because you're not harming the species directly by taking their habitat away, which is a really stupid fucking argument, obviously, because those, like, animals, insects, whatever, what have you, animals that exist within their habitats, they're obviously being harmed, but they, like, Trump has said this before, he wants to start, like, logging, mining, and drilling in, well, a lot of, like, national parks and stuff, because he wants to, like, I want to drill, baby, drill, and not import any lumber from Canada, because I want to bring everything back to America, right? So he's trying to basically, like, push forward deregulation of the fucking, the wildlife and fishing reserves, the different parts of the EPA, to make it such that it opens up to, like, logging and, you know, mining and shit like that. Because, you know, they're not taking the species out of their habitat. They're allowed to stay in those habitats. And, oh, guess what? Because of all of our actions, all the species decided to leave. Oh, well, I guess we could just take more now and just keep taking stuff. And it's just like, yeah, that's like the meme, right? They're seeking to basically destroy a bunch of, like, wildlife to, you know, for exploitative purposes. It makes sense. Understandable.
And that's going to hurt endangered
That they're
species,
doing
and
that.
it's going to drive species to extinction. We have 30 days to submit our public comment about how we feel about this. alveus.gg/go/ESA.
True.
alveus.gg/go/ESA. We have 30 days.
Any commenters?
Actually, more specifically, we have until May 19th. Links and replies on Twitter, links in my bio on Instagram. I have a lot of thoughts.
Cool.
I hope you also have.
Yeah, she's probably not happy about this. Yeah, you know, it's, you know, the consequences of capitalism and the fucking environment being, like, laid out bare. It's fairly obvious what's going on here. Like,
Share, thank you for listening.
Yeah, there's really not much else to say about here. Like, you know, we're gonna bring back logging in America, even though there's, like, no places for them to log at all. Like, but Trump's a fucking idiot, so he's more willing to just, like, harm people and, like, well, not harm. Well, I mean, this is also gonna harm people, obviously, but it's more like harm different species and animals, because, guys, there's profit to be made. The gods of greed and capital and profit, they call to us. I think we're done here pretty much. Lovely. Top sheet. Topsy. God, another fucking Catholic convert. Dude, Catholic converts are so fucking stupid, bro. Who to raid out to today? Who to raid out to today? It is Earth Day. Earth! It's Earth Day. Big thinking. Did I raid into yesterday? I think it was Boy Meets Mini, right? You know, a lot of people are going to be, you know, playing Day Oblivion Remastered. You know, I'm the only fucking nerd playing Pokemon ROM hacks. Silly of me to do such a thing. Why would I ever do a thing? Well, anyway, let's read out to, why don't we do Jason's Society today? Why not? Alright, idiots. Raid messages. You know what to do, you know what to say! Transstride with a Daho raid buff. If you're a sub, if you're an on sub, you do the WoWee. It's how we show appreciation. Those are into any case. Gamers, I will be back tomorrow, and we will be, what? I need to confirm with someone about the next Yap session that we're going to be engaging in. It's going to be a good one, I think. I'm looking forward to it. So I need to confirm with the person, but she's kind of hard to get into contact with sometimes. So I'm going to see where that's going, and then if she doesn't get into contact with me, we're going to do a Yap session on probably another video instead. I'll figure that out. It depends on what's done. Hopefully I get a response. Well, anywho, gamers, I will be back tomorrow, and it's going to be more fucking post-game shit. And we're getting relatively close to being done with the post-game. Any case, same time, same place, same face. Peace out, gamers.